If you're drinking this daily, it will increase your risk of liver cancer and your risk of mortality from liver disease, so you must stop doing it. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and today I'm going to give you an incredible piece of advice that will dramatically improve your health, but also decrease your risk of liver disease. In the Journal of American Medical Association, what they found is those who consume one or more sugary sweetened beverage per day had an increased risk of liver cancer by 85%. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, the other thing that they found is that you had a 68% increased risk of mortality from liver disease if you're consuming sweetened beverages daily. Now, the first thing that we think about when we hear this is that, well, that's not me. I don't do that. But what happens is you forget that you have the Starbucks, you have the lattes, you have the alcoholic beverages which have a lot of sugar in them, you have the iced tea that has sugar in it. You have so many different beverages out there that have sweeteners in them. And when you're consuming even all of these different varieties, well, guess what? It puts you in that category. Sometimes we just have to be real with ourselves and we're like, are we actually doing this? I know that you may not be getting the big gulp giant soda from the convenience store every day, but you may actually be consuming a lot of sugary beverages in other forms. And if that wasn't bad enough, the other thing that's very clear too is if you're consuming these sweetened beverages that have really no nutritional value, they're just a lot of sugar, artificial flavorings, colors, and a lot of garbage in them in most cases, you're also going to dramatically increase your risk of insulin resistance, obesity, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And this is when you get a fat accumulation due to the lipogenesis within the liver. And so this, of course, is associated with high blood pressure and high cholesterol and every other thing that you don't want to have. We have to get rid of these sweetened beverages. So the most obvious thing to do is get maybe something that is sweetened with a artificial sweetener. When you go down the different aisles at the grocery store, or even the convenience store, and you're looking at the energy drinks and the sodas, well, guess what? They all are 0 calorie, and it's like, well, that's great. There's no sugar in it, right? You look at the ingredients, no sugar. But what's in them? Well, it's sucralose. Now, there is a problem with this, okay? There was a recent study that came out, and it was by the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health, and what they found is that sucralose is genotoxic. It damages, it breaks apart your DNA, and this is, of course, terrible. When you look at the most popular energy drinks and sodas on the market that are free of sugar, they're loaded with sucralose. And there's many countries around the world that don't even allow this, but of course in the United States and many places, they are still allowing it. Being the fact that it was genotoxic wasn't bad enough, it also has been shown to cause inflammation and oxidative stress in your gut, leading to something known as leaky gut or intestinal permeability. And as soon as your gut health starts to fall apart, this obviously leads to many health issues across your entire body, whether it's your brain health, your thyroid health, it's all connected. Going with sucralose is not a good answer to this, because if we are trying to avoid all of this, we don't want to have damage to our DNA. So what is the right answer? The right answer is going to be using this instead, and that different thing that you can use is stevia. There's actually a great study out there that shows many benefits of stevia. And the thing is that's interesting about, stevia versus sucralose is you're going to get people like even the American Heart Association that says sucralose is completely healthy. It's completely fine. There's hundreds of studies out there that show that sucralose is safe. Well, guess what? The most up-to-date and newest science is saying it's genotoxic. So I don't believe it. So stevia is going to be the better option. When you look at stevia, first of all, it comes from an actual plant. It's not something that's made a chemical in a lab somewhere. It's coming from nature. It's an antioxidant and it has anti-inflammatory benefits as well. And then when they took sugar, sucralose, and stevia, and they compared them all in a study, here's what they found. If you were to consume sucralose or even sugar, you'd have increased cravings, you'd have higher blood sugar, you'd consume more food throughout the day. Whereas when you use stevia instead, you'd have decreased cravings and also decreased blood sugar. And when you use stevia regularly versus sucralose or sugar, what they found is that you would find the blood sugar slowly tapering down. So it worked so much better. Stevia worked better than sucralose. Now, sucralose itself isn't going to raise your blood sugar. So let's be clear on that. It's not going to raise your blood sugar. However, stevia over time is associated with having lower blood sugar. So the key here is to ditch the sugary drinks, ditch the toxic sweeteners like sucralose, also known as Splenda, remember that. It could be under both names on the ingredient labels. And then go with something that's more found in nature like stevia. And also remember, if you're somebody who is suffering with insulin resistance, you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, you have some of these issues, remember you can use substances found in nature like berberine, which has been shown to help dramatically lower your blood sugar levels. And it's excellent also for weight loss. And I'll put information about a high quality berberine that we use clinically in my clinic in the description below, because that's what I've used with so many people and it works well. You know, we kind of get this mindset like, oh, there's no hope, right? There is hope. We just don't do these things and we stick to the natural stuff. We don't look at these issues as if there's no hope in the natural realm, because there is, because berberine has been shown to work just as good, if not better, than many of these blood sugar medications. So remember that you're in control of your health and make sure that you're making good decisions. If you enjoyed this video, check out this one right over here next.